Hi, and welcome to the Future of Bay Club, a discussion series that we are having with our members. And today we are focusing on the topic of fitness and what is fitness going to look like at our clubs as we look at resuming our services. I'm thrilled today to have 4 of our leaders joining us, along with our CEO, Matthew Stevens. And I'm going to start with our introductions today. So first, I'd like to introduce Amy Tai. She's the general manager at the Bay Club in Walnut Creek. And Amy, I'll let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I've been at the Bay Club Walnut Creek now for almost 17 years. I started actually in the childcare facility there and worked my way up through the different job opportunities there, and now I'm the general manager. I love the community of Walnut Creek. One of my favorite things about coming to work is seeing all of the members that I also see out in our community. So I miss all of you right now, and looking forward to seeing you in the near future.
Thanks, Amy. Next, we're going to introduce Michael Murphy. Michael Murphy is currently our Vice President General Manager at the Bay Club in Portland, but also has some experience in Southern California. So, Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Michael Murphy. I'm the Vice President General Manager of Bay Club in Portland, and I've been with the Bay Club for about 8 years now. Started in the Los Angeles marketplace, and then obviously went through an acquisition there, which Portland also went through here in the near future, or excuse me, in the near past. And I was able to move my family with the promotion to the Bay Club in Portland and assist in running this campus. And then my family and I both originally grew up in the Portland area. I grew up in Lake Oswego. My wife grew up in Vancouver, Washington. So we are very happy to be back in the Northwest and helping the Bay Club grow their physical plant in the Northwest.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. Next, we're going to introduce David Miller. David Miller also is from Bay Club in Portland, and he oversees the entire fitness department there. David, I'll let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, David Miller, AGM of Fitness, but the Bay Club Portland. I've been involved in fitness now 13, going on 14 years. I live 6 miles from the club. I've grown up in my hometown. I live in my hometown still for my entire life, and now currently trying to figure out how to become Professor Miller to a 3rd grade student at home, and it's been quite interesting for me. So.
Like a lot of us, I can appreciate that. And then Jennifer Beaton, affectionately known as Beats to many people in the company, who is currently our Vice President General Manager at the Bay Club in Pleasanton, but has quite a long history with the company. I'll let you give us a little bit more information about your background.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I've been with the Bay Club for 16 years in a whole variety of roles. Started at Santa Clara. That was my first home. I've been in general management, was the vice president of fitness for a long period of time with Matthew, worked on the nutrition side of the world. So my new home is now in Pleasanton, which is 10 minutes from my house. Love the short commute, and very excited to be part of this community. I too am a parent of 2 young children, so I'm learning how to be, I don't consider myself a professor, more like a substitute teacher during this time. It's been fun.
That's great. And now I'm going to hand it off to my co-host, Matthew Stevens, the CEO of the Bay Club, and we can start our question and answer part of the discussion.
Thanks, AA. First of all, glad to have you guys here today. Thank you for the Bay Club community to tune into our series of discussions that we're going to have over the month of April that talks about where's the world going, and what is the Bay Club going to do? What is the active lifestyle fitness category going to do to help in the overall healing of the community? You know, this has been an unprecedented situation that has taken place. There's been so much that has been disrupted in the marketplace. We've had an amazing effort by the city, counties, first responders to try to help tackle this challenge. And what Bay Club is, we can't really do anything about that. We're, there's the healthcare side of the world is taking care of how do we control this pandemic, and how do we figure out to keep people safe and healthy. What Bay Club is focused on is, okay, when that piece stops and the world needs to start to turn again, how do we play a critical role in that process, an essential role in that process? I think one of the things we're doing is studying, and you may have heard it in a couple of our earlier discussions, we're studying the grocery industry, because grocery industry has a volume of customers that comes through. They provide an essential need in the environment to make sure people have the components to be able to survive at home when the restaurants and things are not necessarily as open other than for takeout. And so we feel we cover an essential need of mental health and physical activity. And we know that probably the first part of our business that's going to get turned on is the outdoor space, because it's very easy for us to create the social distancing because of the vast operations that we have with big outdoor acreage with our sports resorts, about 10 acres of sites, our swim and tennis outdoor spaces, and our 150 to 200 acre golf courses, and try to repurpose those spaces to be able to provide physical activity and mental health for our customers as quickly as possible. Right behind that, we're going to talk about our big athletic clubs, and each one of these sites, Portland, Oregon is a former Costco, so it's 180,000 square feet. The Pleasanton location is 160,000 square feet. The Walnut Creek location is 180,000 square feet. Our club in Fremont is 140,000 square feet. So these are big, big complexes that can easily have the same social distancing environments and controls that we're seeing our friends in the grocery industry be able to do. And we're very, very focused on making this happen. We've kept all 6,000 employees together. We've kept everybody on the payroll. We're focused on trying to help get everybody, all those families, through this process. And at the same time, because we have that team together, we're extremely focused on doing the work right now, so that as soon as it's possible for us to turn on the lights and welcome our community back, we're ready with the proper precautions in place, but there's also a fun factor to it. And so got a great panel today to talk about the fitness side. Yesterday we spoke in detail about the sports side of the world, and today we're going to dig into fitness and how we think about what is going to happen with our group exercise classes, what's going to happen with our cardio equipment, our fitness floors. How do we think about creating this social spacing that could take place, not unlike what a lot of our customers are experiencing in the grocery stores. So I'm going to go to David Miller first. He's one of our top fitness professionals in the company. Really excited to get to know him over the last 12 to 15 months as we've gotten involved in the Portland, Oregon area. Definitely one of the most talented people I've had the opportunity to interact with, as you can see his career soaring inside this industry and hopefully with Bay Club for many, many years to come. So David, you're dealing with a big Costco building that eventually became Sports Nation and then converted to now as Bay Club Portland, and enormous space. So tell me your thoughts on this as you think about the way that this is going to evolve inside the facility, and give us some of your perspective.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, and obviously this is an interesting time for everybody, especially us in the hospitality fitness industry. It makes it a little bit tough because everything's, right next to each other and equipment's right next to each other. But as you said, we have a giant indoor place, being a former Costco. So we were just thinking about different ideas and ways to respect the social distancing. But we have 4 indoor basketball courts. We have a food and beverage. We have, the outdoor stuff is a little bit more difficult being up in Portland, as it's not always sunny here. But making sure we're using all of our space and really trying to move the equipment around, and using the basketball courts, because basketball is probably not going to be the politically correct thing to do. You could do some drills and stuff like that, but really opening up some of those spaces for, cycling bikes and treadmills, and spreading out some of the weight equipment so people can, still come in and operate our facility, use our equipment, but also obviously respecting the fact that, we need to be safe and be held accountable to the social distancing. So I think, we really have an opportunity to do that and give back to our member place and give people a safe place to go that they can, work on their mental health and exercise and, get outside of their homes a little bit.
All right, so I got to give you guys, I'm probably going to get in trouble with the Portland people right now. I'm still trying to get used to the Pacific Northwest. I think we're looked upon as a little bit of the outsider because we're based in San Francisco. I grew up in upstate New York in Albany, so when I go up to Portland, it feels like I'm at home. But I don't get this whole "we have bad weather in Portland" concept. That's the piece that just still doesn't. If you ever been to Albany, New York, do you know how cold it gets and how much snow happens in Albany? Why do you guys think you have such bad weather in Portland?
It's not necessarily bad weather compared to Albany. It's bad weather maybe compared to San Diego.
Do you know how cold it gets in San Diego? All right.
I've been to San Diego in the winter.
All right. Giving you a hard time. All right. So as we talk about fitness equipment, we're very confident that we can space out fitness equipment so that not unlike other places that are going to have social distancing, that we can put reservations to pieces of equipment. We can have a cleaning, disinfection of every single piece of equipment that somebody uses and make sure there's proper social distancing, especially because in the majority of our facilities from San Diego to Portland, we have these big, vast operations. And we believe that we can help set the tone for the whole fitness category and help perfect those models so more and more of our colleagues can turn on lights and be able to follow the lead that the Bay Club is setting up from that perspective. I'm going to go to my second major guru on the fitness side of the world, Jen Beaton. As she said, we've worked together extensively for the last 12 years. She's now overseeing the Pleasanton facility, which is another ginormous location with both indoor and outdoor space. One of the things that we've got to sort of think about is group exercise, right? Where are the spaces where there's a collision of people that were, if you put the social distancing protocols in play today, they're probably not going to be allowed to be in a smaller room that we might typically do some classes, or a cycling studio that we typically would do classes in, are either going to have less bikes, or those bikes are going to have to go somewhere. Maybe outside, because we're going into the summer season. Help the community think about what, I know you're involved in a lot of these conversations. What are we thinking about on the group exercise schedule, from everything from mind body to cycling to a whole variety of classes that we offer?
Yeah, and I won't be taking it personally that I'm second, David. It's all good. Yeah, with a lot of our properties, we have huge outdoor areas. Even as I walk the property today at Pleasanton, there's turf areas, there's outdoor tennis courts, indoor tennis courts. This property alone has 10 indoor tennis courts. As David mentioned, many of our facilities have 2 or more basketball courts, which gives us a unique opportunity to really evaluate these spaces and how we can repurpose them. Ideally, if we can get people outdoors, especially we're coming up on spring and summer weather, which is amazing. Getting people outdoors, we can easily create social spacing with how we set up classes, how we take on reservations. And then, if any equipment's involved, like a cycle bike, have stringent protocols in place to make sure everything's disinfected between every single use to protect our members. But with the amount of space we have, there's endless opportunities to repurpose, to create very, very safe spaces for our members to interact with group exercise, as well as cardio and other fitness opportunities. So we've been looking at all of those at all the properties, and we're very, very confident that we can execute this, similar to how grocery stores are doing it. They're very methodical in how they line people up, make sure that spacing's occurring. We feel very confident that we'll be able to do the same thing within our spaces and create safe opportunities for fitness. I know as I've talked to hundreds of members these last few days, members are trying to figure out how to get exercise. It is part of their well-being, and it's how we're all going to get through this mentally. So we want to be one of those resources for our members.
Great. And you and I have had some chat. I mean, Jennifer is definitely one of the key individuals that we lean on in the company when it comes to the mechanics of the fitness side of the world. I think you've overseen a high percentage of all of our fitness equipment purchasing for the last decade or so from that perspective. And when we think about it, we've got a couple of things we've got to do. One, we've got to figure out how to recable and move electricity around so that customers are going to come in and be almost no change other than there's not going to be treadmills side by side. They're going to be spaced out in different phases. And then we're also working on this playbook to present to the counties so that we can prove to them that we will establish the standards that we'll hold ourselves to and be available to the sheriff's department to come in and do inspections at any time, at any point in the day, to make sure that we're complying with those standards as we sort of go through this initial stage, right? We don't think, 12 months from now, I think you're going to see a arena full of people at the Chase Center rooting on the Warriors as they start to make a run to the playoffs again after they get everybody back from injury. And the airplanes are going to be full with individuals again somewhere, hopefully by the time 2021. But we're going to have a time period that we're going to have more strict guidelines in place. And what's your thoughts on our ability to hold to those protocols and be able to live up to that standard and set the mark for the industry so that all of our friends and brethren in the fitness category can follow and allow their lights to come on?
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to have to adapt how we approach fitness. It's evolving for all of us. I think we're learning on a daily basis what this is going to look like. But I feel very confident, setting up equipment, running the power, logistically, that's easy for us to accomplish. Putting in protocols, reservations for members so they can anticipate when that equipment's going to be available to them. They can be very confident that it's been completely disinfected and ready for them. It's almost like going into a hotel room. When you're going into your hotel room for the first time, it's been completely reset and safe for you. So looking at how we approach fitness that way, our safety is our number one priority, and I'm confident that we'll put in the protocols. It will change how people approach their day-to-day fitness, but I think they'll be able to approach it with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, good. And you are definitely one of the key individuals we're leaning on. As you know, we've got our operation gurus and a lot of everybody's come up through the field as you've given your background and everything you've worked on. The great news about our team is, I've said it in a number of these discussions, we're a blue collar squad. So we're focused on doing the work, and we're not sitting at home watching Netflix. We're working harder today with 24 locations temporarily suspended than we do to run the 24 locations on a day in and day out basis, because we got 6,000 lives and families depending on us, and we got 140,000 lives, 65,000 families and 140,000 lives on the membership side depending on us. So we're very appreciative of what everybody's doing. Thank you for what you guys are holding down in the East Bay. We call you guys East Bay South, right? So yeah. East Bay South, Fremont and Pleasanton, East Bay South. On the other side, we call it East Bay North, right? So up to our big shop at Walnut Creek, and this new family that we brought on between Pleasanton, Fremont, Walnut Creek, and Portland back in January of 2019. And gotten a chance to spend a lot of time with Amy and unbelievably impressed with her career of what she's done, and now is one of the leadership roles for us in Walnut Creek. And we've got an interesting gig up there where we've got a hotel that's got the influence of the hotel industry. What do we have? How many residents do we have in place right now at the hotel? About 15?
About 15 right now. So, and they're long-term stays with us. So we're hunkering down with them and still staying open and providing a really great, safe environment for them as they're away from their home. We're their new home. So we're welcoming them there during this duration as well.
Yeah, so we're sitting on a 175-room hotel with conference center, with food and beverage environment, plus an 80,000 square foot athletic club. And so it's another major opportunity for us. The The hotel industry is probably going to take a little bit longer to come back. There's going to be less travel for a short period of time. We're going to be able to get our lights on sooner because we can provide this essential service to our customers. And at Walnut Creek, let's talk about some of the creative things we're thinking about taking advantage of all that space over the next 3 to 6 months until our full hotel business comes back. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think that one of the opportunities that we have is we've had a staff on hand all the time that creates spaces that are safe and welcoming to all different groups that have come through, including our fitness membership as well. And we're used to kind of turning spaces and cleaning hotel rooms and making sure that those are set and sanitized for the next person to come on board. So we've been able to do a lot of really great brainstorming in terms of how we use our banquet space when we know we probably won't have as many meetings in-house, and using that space and being able to provide the distancing that is necessary to either put fitness equipment in there or pods of areas that people can, families can socialize and interact. We've got a great outdoor space with an expanded pool deck that we know we're going to have to look at differently this upcoming summer. And we can capitalize on that sunny summer weather in California. And even though people are enjoying going outside, I have had so many of our members call me and talk about, I miss our instructor. I want to come back. We miss the physical, the center of the fitness floor, those types of things. And so I think that that's really our opportunity to get our members back connected with the instructors that they miss, and doing yoga classes poolside, and using maybe our private cabanas for even more intimate groups that allow us to social distance during that space, but really some unique opportunity to program. Our basketball courts, we can pull up the middle of our, the curtain down the middle of the court, and it becomes a really inviting area that we can do larger class formats with appropriate distancing there. I think we have the staff that can make sure that we're limiting, as Jen mentioned, reservations is going to be a key thing for us. And we know that we can put all of those things in safely. Was going into the grocery store the other day, and they were sanitizing hands as we were walking in, and we were doing that before we were closed. So I know that we can do that going forward and provide that environment that's going to really create a safe, secure, and healthy environment for our members as they return.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, having 180,000 square feet, we've got rooms. We've talked about allowing people to use the rooms as an office space if they live in the area, because the rooms aren't really being used right now. And that gives us the ability of that, and with social distancing from that perspective, all of the conference space that we have there, all of the outdoor space. So we're excited about the challenge that exists up in Walnut Creek, and we want to be that safe haven for the customer. So Murph, we've gotten to know each other since 2015, and I know that I have big chits in my pocket because you got your family back up to Tigard in that area. So, it was pretty exciting when we thought about coming into Portland, and not realizing that Michael was from the area and grew up in Lake Oswego, and his wife as well. So it's been a fun and exciting process to watch him be able to move back up to the Portland area and re-engage with his friends and colleagues up there as part of it. Murph, talk to me about hoop courts. So, when we talked about basketball yesterday on the sports discussion, we talked about it. You and I are diehard hoop guys. Every chance we get, wherever we're holding a meeting, every Tuesdays and Thursdays inside this company, there's hoops games going on with our team. So pickup basketball is near and dear to both of our hearts. Unfortunately, we've got a challenge because it creates social distancing issues, and Portland's got one of our best pickup basketball groups that we have up and down the West Coast. And, what are we trying to do to think about, unfortunately, I'm not sure we are going to be allowed to do pickup basketball for a certain period of time. It will come back, but the question is, when will it come back? and how do we help those basketball players? And then what do we do with the square footage, especially in Portland, or, Portland's got 4 basketball courts, Pleasanton's got 2, Fremont's got 2, Walnut Creek has like 1 3/4. These are big spaces. So, give me your thoughts on how we talk to our basketball customers, because we care a lot about them, and we are definitely a pro basketball company. So we got to keep them happy, but we also got to keep them safe. So give me some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think when you think of what the basketball community is looking for, is commodity, it's community, it's competition, and it's fun, right? I think having those fundamentals within the basketball community is key. And so how are we going to repurpose the courts when you take away the actual drop-in, pickup game ability? Is, we'll have shooting machines, which will be cardio-oriented drills, which will still create the level of immeasurable therefore you can compete with somebody else, but you still have the safe space. Whether it's drills of shooting, dribbling drills, like a skills challenge during the all-star games that you see, just a different way to make it fun and fresh. And then maybe you'll work on your mid-range game and actually get a little bit better at the game of basketball. Because it's a lot about the fun and the sweat and getting along with other members that you see on a day-to-day basis. Even you'll see them out in the community. So I think it's a good challenge to have, but I do think it's a huge opportunity, because we're not going to just not do anything with that square footage, and we're not going to be able to just not have some component of basketball. But I do think that we'll be able to figure out how to make it fun, how to make it cardio, how to make it competitive, and how to make it organized, because that's the other thing. You don't want to have chaos on the courts, because not only does the safety part of it go away, but also the cleanliness and the control. So I think within that, we're going to have some, whether it's reservations of a skills challenge on, Mondays, Wednesdays, and then it's more of a 3-point, mid-range games on Tuesdays, Thursdays, very similar to how we have pickup ball and drop-in now and detailed court scheduled. I think we'll figure out a way to do it very, very similar to that, where the basketball community will feel like they're very well taken care of and thought of. And I'm sure they'll have some good suggestions that we'll listen to as well, to be able to expedite it and put it into play. So that's really where I see the basketball world going.
Yeah, and the message to our basketball community is, look, we want to play hoops, and we're going to play pickup fast as we possibly can, because it's part of our daily routine. We think, though, there will be social guidelines in place for a period of time until everybody feels comfortable with having that social interaction, because in basketball, you make physical contact. And so we've had to come up with solutions for squash, and we've had to come up with solutions for tennis that are going to allow people to have pieces of that puzzle, but we might not be able to get pickup hoops in. We've got to think that could be September, could be January before it's, allowed through the protocols once all of this is under control. So just know, hopefully we're talking to the Bay Club community. We're thinking about these things. We've made an order of 25 shooting machines to put on our basketball courts. We're studying, and having conversations with the various NBA teams about what drills and things we can put in place, and how do we have this skills competition type of a setup for our customers, in order to make sure everybody feels like we're doing something for them to help get through this from both a mental and a physical perspective. So, I'm, hopefully it comes across. This is a talented panel of individuals that we brought on to talk about our space planning and our approach to fitness. I'm going to turn it back to AA, and you can take us through our home stretch. Is that fair?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate everybody coming on today, giving your perspectives about the business overall, but also how it impacts your members. We like to end the discussion series with something that everyone is thankful for, and then also supporting small businesses that have been impacted, and how can we help beyond our immediate community of the Bay Club. And so I would say today, I am really thankful for some sunny California weather. As we are entering the end of week 3 of social distancing, the ability to get outside is great for kind of everyone's mental space in my household. And also it really speaks to us being able to get back to our clubs and using our outside spaces, seeing people and getting some fresh air as we continue to really, pay attention to social distancing guidelines. My small business that I want to give a shout out to is a little company called Farm Fresh to You. They are a collaborative of farmers that primarily support restaurants in the Bay Area, and with most of our restaurants closed down, they are looking for other places to deliver their vegetables and fruits and other items. And this is my second week of getting their box, and I have to say they're an incredibly sweet couple that runs the company. They also provide really wonderful fruits and vegetables, and so it's a nice little treat that I'm getting on Thursdays with some really fresh produce. So that's my shout out today. Amy, I'm going to hand it off to you for what you are thankful for in your small business.
All right. I am really thankful for the fact that I have two teenagers, 14 and 17, who are continuing to want to talk to me, which is great during this time as we're all hunkered at home. I just started a puzzle with one of them last night, and the conversations that came from that were heart-touching for sure. So just thankful for my family and thankful that they're willing to still share with me and talk to me and get off their screens sometimes. So that's my thankfulness today. My shout out to a small business is Slow Ham Barbecue, and they're located in Pleasant Hill.
I love them.
I know, they're so good.
So good.
That Maureen Bellato has been a member since the day we opened up in Walnut Creek, and I think she exemplifies very similarly to what Bay Club does, is community and outreach and support. And I think that they have, I just talked with her yesterday, and they've been able to maintain their staff. They're figuring out new ways for delivery and pickup. They're servicing our first responders and our medical profession too. If they can't get to to the restaurant to pick up, they will deliver to them. So my shout out is to Slow Ham Barbecue.
Nice. Couple good things for the East Bay. I like it.
Really good stuff. Michael Murphy, tell us about what you're grateful for in a small business in Portland.
Something I'm grateful for is definitely my family. I think that, my wife and my two little kids have done an amazing job of letting me be around the house a little bit more, letting me play with them a little bit more, and to Amy's point, not being very sick of me yet. My wife's incredibly supportive, so I have to give her a shout out, and I'm very, very thankful for her, and then my two beautiful kids. So having a little bit more home time, back in the Northwest, life could be worse. So focusing on the positives, and I think that my family and my two beautiful kids. Small business shout out, just want to say Bellagio's Pizza here in the Northwest. They've delivered pizza for several of our meetings, from our Kids World team to our facilities housekeeping team to our own food and beverage teams. They've always come through. Just want to give them a shout out. Good solid pizza and a good place.
That's awesome. Why don't we stay up in the Pacific Northwest, and I'll go over to you, David Miller.
Okay, thankful for a few things, and I'll try to make it quick. Obviously, my family being home and being healthy, and like Murphy, my wife, trying to deal with me being home more, working her job and trying to plan everything out. She's pretty amazing. I got to give it up to those school teachers and the ones that actually do it for real, even though Professor Miller for a few hours a day can kind of figure it out. Those teachers got tough jobs every single day while they're in the school year. And then, super happy to be on the panel with you guys, and then working for a company that's willing to really push the envelope and try to keep people safe and do the right thing for employees and the company, and happy that I can contribute in any way that's possible. So super grateful for that. And then, small business around here, Oswego Grill. We've used them quite a bit. They're a local restaurant. They do some delivery and stuff like that. Got some good stuff. And so, definitely want to help support them.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for that. Jen Beaton.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to be thankful for. It's hard to limit to a couple things. You know, I'm thankful for my family, with both of my husband and I working. Kids are being very patient with us at home, and thankful for all the health of all the associates. It's great to check in with everyone and make sure everyone's still doing really well. Feel super blessed there. Also very thankful for the teachers. I don't understand new math. They are amazing. Math is math. And then, you know, I also have to shout out, I think someone else has before, just our healthcare providers. I have a family of healthcare providers, and I know many of our members are, and they are on the front lines right now, and so appreciate the risks that they're putting themselves at to take care of others. So big shout out to them for all the hard work they're doing. And then for a local business, I have to shout out Dos Coyotes. It's my kids' favorite place, and it gives them a sense of stability, and they are delivering. So we eat a lot of taquitos and tacos in the Beaton household. Makes our children very happy.
That's awesome. I love that. Boss, I'm going to hand it to you before we wrap up for the day.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we're so appreciative of everybody, both our 6,000 families of associates that we have in the company and our enormous membership base of unbelievable people that we have from San Diego to Los Angeles to San Jose, Santa Clara, Redwood City, Fremont, Pleasanton, Walnut Creek, San Francisco, Marin, and Portland, Oregon. And we're unbelievably appreciative of that, of everyone that's involved in the Bay Club community. You know, we don't always get to come out from behind the curtain, and you know, it's we're always trying to figure out how to show our heart and soul of what goes into running this company. It's a unique opportunity right now with sort of a wholly unprecedented situation, and we've made it an effort to try to bring this discussion series to you so you can get to know us a little bit better and sort of what makes us tick and what are we thinking about, and try to make this a better place for both our associates and our members. My shout out is going to be both a combination of thank you. I happen to live in the Presidio in San Francisco. I'm a basketball player, as I said. I used to be better. I'm nowhere near as good as Murph. I'm a little older than him, but I am also play at our clubs, and I also play at the Y in the Presidio. And they are trying to hold on to their staff. They're trying to hold on to their club. They're trying to do things for the community that the Y brings. I've got my Y membership card here on my key ring as part of it. And I'm going to do a shout out to Chuck Collins and his team. They're doing a fantastic job trying to take care of the community and service all the different things that the YMCA does. So, you know, this is not just a Bay Club community discussion. We believe it's our job to help represent the whole industry and all of the different players that are in the industry. We're trying to set a path for everybody to follow. And we're rooting for everybody. We want our whole squad. We want our whole company. We want our whole membership base. We want our whole community to come through this in a healthy way. And we're so appreciative of you giving us a little bit of your time to chat with us on this discussion series. AA, back to you.
Thank you. So, as always, we're really hoping that this becomes a conversation with our membership base. And the way that you can submit your suggestions, your feedback, your questions is through our email address, thenewnormal@bayclubs.com. And we will start, answering those questions as they come in and bringing your suggestions as a discussion topic. Every day we learn something new. And we will continue to introduce you to our team and members of our expanded community as we go through this time together. And we just want to say thank you. We are incredibly grateful to be a part of a community like ours during a time like this. So with that, we'll see you on our next episode. Goodbye.